Yes, significant breaking news in the last few moments here on Sky Sports News because...
Yeah, City getting busy. Hi, welcome along to the Transfer Centre. We'll hear from their newest signing in just a few moments. Kaveh Solokol, Dharmesh Sheth are here, and they're going to look at all the deals. Remember, just over 24 hours now before the first window of the summer closes. In fact, just under 24 hours. VIKTOR GYOKERES is in huge demand. Where will he end up? Well, we'll tell you about Manchester United's opening move, and we'll ask if he still fits the bill for Arsenal. Bryan Mbeumo remains a United target. We'll bring you right up to date on his future as his boss at Brentford, Thomas Frank, prepares to head to Tottenham. Crystal Palace should be thinking about signings to boost their squad for the Europa League, but their first foray into Europe is in real danger. We'll hear why, and we'll look at what it might mean for their broader plans. We knew Manchester City would get busy. They have. Let's start with that new deal for a left-back. Kaveh, the details.
Yeah, Manchester City have completed a deal for Rayan Ait-Nouri from Wolves. Initial fee worth around £31 million. With add-ons that could reach £36 million. He has signed a 5-year contract, and of course he will be able to play in the Club World Cup for Manchester City because this deal has been done before tomorrow night's deadline. Now, we've known that Pep Guardiola has been looking to sign a new left-back. City were also linked with Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth. It looks like he may be moving to Liverpool. Ait-Nouri has had a good spell at Wolves. He's been there for 4 seasons. He is very good going forward as well, excellent defensively as well. And I think it's been a long time since Pep Guardiola has actually signed an out-and-out left-back. So I'm sure Manchester City supporters will be pleased because if there are any weaknesses in Manchester City's squad, perhaps that was one of them, and it looks like that weakness has now been addressed.
Yeah, it does indeed. Well, do you know what? That's Kaveh. Nice to hear from Kaveh, but should we hear from the man himself, Rayan Ait-Nouri? I promised, it's coming.
To be honest, I'm very, very happy, very proud. It was one of my goals to play in one club like Manchester City. Yeah, I'm very proud, and I can't wait to play with this shirt. My family, they are very happy also, and yeah, for sure, it's a very good day today. Yeah.
Once you knew of Manchester City's interest, was it an easy decision for you to make?
Yeah, for sure, it was an easy decision. We know the team. They show last few years it was the best team in the world. And the player, they are amazing. The coach also. It's a pleasure to train every time it will be a pleasure to train with Pep Guardiola. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm come here to learn, to show also what I can do, and yeah, I will give my best.
Definitely worth waiting for. Dharmesh, and more to come from City. Tell us.
Yeah, one in now, definitely, in Rayan Ait-Nouri, and another Rayan is very, very close to joining. That's Rayan Cherki. Manchester City have agreed a £34 million deal with Lyon for the forward. City hope to type that medical, type all the personal terms in time, once again, like Ait-Nouri, for him to be available for the FIFA Club World Cup. He's had a really impressive season for Lyon. I think a lot of people will have seen him play for France, but also he scored in both legs of the Europa League quarter-final, which was quite an iconic game now against Manchester United. And in all, he scored 12 goals and provided 20 assists as well in all competitions this season. So you can see why City really wanted to sign him. And another player that is very, very close to joining as well is Tijani Reinders. This one we have been talking about in the past couple of weeks. He's expected to join for an initial fee from AC Milan for £46.3 million. Depending on performance-related add-ons, that fee could go as high as £58 million. So you saw Manchester City really going for it in the January transfer window. Omar Mamouche, one of their headline signings then,
Rayan Ait-Nouri
and it could be one in already and two more to come.
Manchester City. It looks like good business this for City, given they were linked with Florian Wirtz, who looks like it's going to cost an absolute fortune. Have City done cracking business yet again? We'll hear from their
I think City have been very active for the second window in a row. Normally, they don't really spend much in the January window, but they spent significant funds in January. They've spent significant funds again now. They are not going to take losing their title or lying down. We heard from their chairman, Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, recently. He held his hands up and said, look, we made some mistakes by not strengthening the squad. We're going to address that and we're going to move quickly. And that's exactly what we've seen Manchester City do, especially so early in the window, using this mini window to get these players in so Pep Guardiola can work with them all across the summer, not just in the Club World Cup, but he'll have them when they have their very sort of short, curtailed pre-season as well after the Club World Cup. So I think it's really good news for Manchester City, and I think part of the thinking is this, and we've seen Manchester City complain because they get so little time between the end of the Club World Cup and their season starting. And they actually asked the Premier League whether the start of their season could be delayed to give their players a rest. And that request was turned down. I think it was an informal request. But I think this just shows that Pep Guardiola is really, really aware that this summer he needs to have a strong squad. He needs to get his signings in early, and he needs to make sure that he gives his players a lot of time off as well. So expect to see a lot of rotation in the City squad this summer.
Explain why, if Pep wanted more players during the Club World Cup, he could do it.
Well, the Club World Cup starts this weekend, and you would think that is that. You won't be able to register players for it until the tournament ends, and it lasts a month. But FIFA have said that we are going to have a mid-tournament registration window. So after the initial group phases, June the 27th to July the 3rd, you can register new players to play in the tournament. So there's still the possibility that clubs could sign players after June the 16th, when the transfer window opens, and then register them between the 27th and the 3rd of July.
It just feels like, doesn't it, that FIFA are trying everything they can to make sure that as many of the best players in the world are going to be available for this tournament, even though the tournament has received so much criticism because of the football calendar.
It was one of
they
my
are
goals.
saying, no, this is the Club World Cup. We're finally going to find out who the best club in the world is with this tournament. So we want the best players in the world.
They're desperate to compete with the Champions League, aren't they? Because they're going to do everything to get the best players there. Darmish, let's talk.
Manchester United are ramping up efforts to sign a new striker this summer, with Viktor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko emerging as priority targets. United scouts have been tracking Gyökeres after his remarkable season with Sporting CP, where the Swedish forward scored 43 goals across all competitions. The club are reportedly considering activating his €100 million release clause to add a proven goalscorer to Erik ten Hag's squad. In parallel, United are also pursuing Benjamin Sesko. The 21-year-old Slovenian striker impressed in the Bundesliga with RB Leipzig and is seen as one of Europe's most promising young forwards. A fee in the region of €65 million may be required to tempt Leipzig into a sale. Strengthening the attack is a key priority for Manchester United, who struggled for consistency in front of goal last season. Talks are ongoing, and both deals remain active as the Red Devils look to reinforce their frontline.